Okay. So you all did the last session, which is about spouse. If you have not done it, it's time that you really diligently did it so that we face it and we are done with it. That's the most easiest part. Face it, hear it, write the answers, be done with it. Okay? However, today's could be a little more challenging because today we are going to talk about our relationship with sex. Okay? Now, the moment I say that, everybody will, oh my gosh, okay. Everybody's face will be as neutral as possible. You remember when you watched something in the TV when there is some little bit of thing, long time back in Bollywood, at the most, what can be? There won't be even one kiss also. Then your parents would, what is coming here? You're also is like just glued, not even looking at anybody, but all your senses are on everybody here. And then you're just, okay. Or fast forward. People don't feel comfortable at all to talk about it. Okay? My thing is, it's as natural as drinking water and everything else as the need of the body. So it is okay to talk about it. And it is okay to understand what is it for us. We'll only write the question and answer. And do you want to change it in any way? Or at least if it's not within your purview, or at least can you manage it, cope up with it? That's the whole idea. Okay? Because the very understanding of sex can be a lot of things. It is not just a physical act. So we are trying to only understand and we are trying to see what is it is for us. What is our relationship with sex? That's all we are trying to do. And as a bonus of it, is there any way I can transmute it into manifestation? Now everybody wants to know about it, isn't it? Okay, fine. So let's start. Now what happens is, hold on a minute, give me 1 minute time. So to talk about it, so one thing we have to understand that sexual energy is the most creative energy. We all know that, right? It has belonged to the root chakra and sacral chakra. Okay. Now, we have heard, yeah, everybody says it's the creative energy, and creative energy, the moment you say that, its manifestation comes into picture. But what is it? It doesn't mean that if you don't have sex, you don't have any creative energy. It's rather, let's say this way, you have creative energy and one form of it is sex. Got it, right? We should not look at the other way around and thinking that, oh my God, I should have sex so that I can be really creative. Can't be, you don't have to be like that. It is all about understanding the creative energy. And this is one thing which is common even across animals, insects, and everywhere. It is a common form of energy coming from nature. There are a lot of other energies which are only belonging to humans, which are only belonging to, let's say, intuitive power is so high in animals, but This one energy is across all the things. Okay. So now what happens is, why do we not look at it the way it should be? Because we know that it's a driving force of the nature. And if you start going deeper, every life, if it has to be energetic, the core of that is actually the urge. Okay? So, one more thing to notice, sexual energy is actually the urge of it. It's not exactly to have sex, it is about the urge. And the urge has everybody, right? It's not exactly like, you should be married or you should have another opposite spouse or opposite gender guy, girl with you. It's not like that. The urge can be there for everybody. So the sexual energy is actually urge. And this is the most powerful energies which is existing. Okay. Now, if you're smart enough, you can guide this, direct it towards achieving your goals, manifesting dreams, and you can even use this for deeper state of consciousness. Okay. Now, whatever practice you want to have, again, I'm telling you, the urge is enough. Okay. The urge is enough for you. It is not exactly the act of it. If you have that urge itself, you need to divert that, and that can give you focusing, and it can give you so many other things such as increased creativity, and motivation will come, boost of physical energy will come, you will get your confidence and assertiveness, and your mood will be nice most of the time, and self-awareness starts coming. And even if you practice a little more, you'll have intensified spiritual experiences also is possible. Okay. So if people are into it, then it's very easy for them to manifest for all of this. But if people don't have sex, at least they have to recognize their urge for that. Now, when we enter into that discussion, that is where the block starts. Right? How you have grown up, your conditioning, or whatever you have heard from, your experiences, and whatever which is happening in your life currently, issues, let's say, all of this will affect, and it will make you to suppress yourself even from feeling the urge. But that's not right, because it's very natural, and it's very natural to have the urge. And if you're still feeling the urge with all that imperfections of your life, congratulate yourself, you're still remaining to be a human being. And then, how about getting in touch with it, exaggerating it, using it? Okay? And that is some few probably guidelines I can give you how to use it for manifestation later in the end. But then, right now, we are going to discuss about what do you think about your opinion and your experience of sex. I'm not going to ask, okay, Ravina, tell me this. No, I won't do that. Quite personal, isn't it? But then you're all going to answer many, many, many questions when I ask. And it's extremely important for all of you answer it so that you know what it is and then you can change it. Now, apply the same physics law of energy, that no energy can be created or destroyed. Same goes with this too. Okay? It cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed. That is where you can. Any energy is like that. It cannot be destroyed or created. You can't create it for this reason only from somewhere and get it and manifest it, and then you don't have any chance to complain. Oh, I couldn't get that, so forget about manifesting. I can't manifest anything. No, it is about you have not realized it. Where in your life, where in your body that any energy for that matter is residing. You need to figure it out. Which chakra it is belong to, you need to figure it out. And use any energy to create, manifest for yourself. Okay? And this is the only one energy which is very easy to feel, which is very distinct when it comes to other energies. Other energies you will have doubtful. Oh, my enthusiasm energy is that, is it? I don't know. Is that how it feels? But you very well know how it is feels when it comes to sexual energy. Okay? So it is very easy to understand that, which is very easy to use it for transformation. Another thing what you have to do is if it is simple for you, you have to understand how you feel this. You know how you feel this, meaning, do you feel hot? Do you feel cold? Okay. Do you feel sensation of energies like tingling? What is it for you? You need to identify. It's very easy to identify that and then amplify it for your transformation. Okay. But for all of that, you have to become non-judgmental. And as I said, that is the catch, because we are already in the judgments. Okay. So when we get out of the judgment, that is when we are able to experience it and transform it. Okay. So what has happened? Before you learn to explore and embrace that sexuality, there are two different things you have to understand. There is something called as sensuality. What is the difference between sensuality and sexuality? Sensuality is definitely pertaining to all your senses. There are 5 senses, no? Nose, you smell it. Ear, you hear it. Eye, you see it. Tongue, you taste it. Okay, mouth, whatever you take that. And skin, the skin which senses, which is the sensation. So these are 5 senses which are given to us. Now these 5 senses are mainly okay, Ketki, you can drop. So these 5 senses are main. Which is the chakra which is close to these 5 senses? Third eye. So it is mostly related to your third eye related things. You can do it using your 5 senses. Okay? These are all quite weird, no? How each chakra related only those things are residing. That's one clue for you. Okay? Now, so such kind of things you have to invoke from that chakra only. Now, because it's a third eye chakra, which is the above 3 chakras, one of the chakras, this is mostly related to the spirituality. Now, the 5 senses, will help you get into different dimensions. You understand what I'm trying to say? All that, which is not necessarily the materialistic or this 3D. Whereas sexual energy will give you the 3D, three dimension, I mean, the current reality, let's say. But both are equally for each other. Now, if you observe, the sexuality is using all the five senses. So it feels like the base is the sensuality, and the sexuality is the exaggeration of these senses. Okay? So you are mastering the sexuality. That means you better master your sensuality. That is why the bottom three chakras becoming very, very good also means you're spiritually going to become very good. Experience your sex fully, that means you will experience the spirituality even better. You use the sexual energy to transform and do whatever you want in your life. That is nothing but spirituality. You understand this? How connections are done? Okay. So now for this such a beautiful thing of doing so many things, why we have been told or heard and felt it's bad. At least it's not so much so like the current generation. Let's leave that apart. At least they're making a better understanding of the whole stuff, I guess. But in my generation and the previous to my generations and all that, it is something only used for creation and nothing more. Okay, so so that is where the parents are not comfortable with letting children to watch those kind of movies. Now the most intriguing part, or the part where it makes you wonder, is you are comfortable in watching killing scenes, gory scenes. We are okay to watch, but even if the children are watching all kinds of killing, we are okay, we will watch. But if they are watching the sexual scenes, immediately we kind of part we should not watch, kind, and then parental intervention, everything comes into picture. The video game is all about killing the other people. I mean, whatever part of the video game. But you can't watch something about sex. So there is so much of a taboo, so much of nonsense when it comes to this. Okay. So why do we expose and desensitize ourselves to one reality, but we don't for the other reality? I think this is where the missing part comes. And when we don't know and we keep this particular aspect as missing in our life, then you are missing a lot of things in your life. So the earlier you and your children embrace this, the better they can manage this life. Okay? So now what happens is, because we have a strong sense of right and wrong, maybe that's coming from a religious background, or was it they wanted to control people producing a lot until they come to a real age, or whatever that is. God knows why it has become like that in life. Okay? So what we do today is we try to figure out what are, it's called sexual repression. meaning sexual repression. Repress it, meaning you don't even want to feel the urge because it is bad, it is dirty, it is wrong, or it is some kind of a secrecy around it. And it is not the social norms. Where we belong, it is not like that. Okay? Um, and if someone is expressing their sexual expressions, it is like intolerant towards it. Ah, it's a bad. Look at the way she's dressing up. Look at what she does. You know, it's kind of like that. We are reiterating that it's all bad, kind of a thing. Or, or very discomfort about the idea. And sometimes some people is very discomfort. They have the discomfort about nudity. Some people also don't feel good about their body. And the reason, why is the reason? Because all of us compare ourselves with the movies. There's a beautiful actress. I am not like her. Okay. And so all of these things, you're not acting, no? Okay, that's a different question. Anyway, so all of these will come into picture, or sometimes it's not even, uh, it's like we don't have good information or we don't have all the information about sex. So I am not comfortable with that. So the only thing which I know is you can reproduce children by sex. So it is better that you get married and do, because then you are eligible to have children. Everything else, I don't know how to manage. I don't know how to answer. I don't know what I should do also. Right? So there are a lot of discomforts. And remember, your children also will be undergoing that. If you can help with them, they feel extremely comfortable with themselves. Not that they'll jump into sex. I'm not saying that. A responsible citizen and responsible child won't do that. But if you make them feel comfortable, they will be comfortable with their bodies and they will enjoy a better sex. So it's important for parents to make them feel comfortable. Many people also have this feeling that you should not even tell anything, otherwise, they will want to experiment and see. Everybody is experimental guinea pig then. I mean, these are all our own insecurities. It should not be like that, because there comes a day then you can't stop anything. Then you'll feel that it's better if I had told. It's like that. Okay, so the other reasons, some of the reasons why you don't want to embrace that, because, as I said, body insecurity, and maybe there could be some sexually abused situations and events in the past. So that may make them feel not nice about it. Like what I talked about associations in the beginning. If they have a bad association with the sex, then they'll say that's why it's not. And also, it might push them to feel low self esteem. As I said, oh, my body is not nice and beautiful at all, and I don't feel good, like that. So if we love our body, I think we should use that body for intimate actions. It can be anything, not necessarily the sex, right? So this is one of the major reasons why people actually block. Okay. So now what we do is What is that you are going to gain by answering some of the questions I give? You have to think, no, you have to critically think. All of you should think actually. It's not because I'm just giving the question and you go right and then something will change. No, I don't think so. Unless you are very sure, unless you're understanding why you're doing that, I don't think it will have any benefit. The idea in answering the question is exactly like what I said. What happens when you think about it? I'm ashamed of it. I am not okay with it. I cannot think about it. I feel sad that I don't have it, or I feel that uh, I'm not getting it. It can be any of this. Now, of course, we have social conditioning, we have our environment. We can't step out of it. But can you accept it? If it's not possible for you to step out of it, can you accept it? Second thing is, can you go a little bit beyond acceptance and talk about it with the related people? And then, even if that is not possible, is it possible that you use your own urge the way you want in your creativity and in your creations? By just understanding what is happening with you, trust me, you will get the courage to go and talk to people. Number one. Number two is using this sex drive. What am I manifesting? Am I manifesting the right thing for me or the wrong thing for me? Something you are manifesting. Let's assume if you're very critical with your spouse and you have horrible fights, so you can never be sexually intimate with this guy, that is what you're manifesting. Remember, sexual energy cannot be created, destroyed. It can only be transformed. And by birth, you are given that sexual energy. So you are definitely manifesting it. Why don't you manifest the way you want? That is the reason why we need to know, answering these questions, what is happening with me? What is my equation with sex? That is the only reason. No other reason why we are attempting to answer this. Okay? So, shall we start the questions? Okay. In the end, I'm going to just help you how you can manifest with whatever that is. Of course, you have to tell me that you're all going to practice it for 7 days. And that means next week, of course, 7 days after we meet. And if you cannot talk about it without recording, of course, I won't record. You can talk about how you manage to manifest. There's a very specific way of manifesting. And because if you manifest it, you know, when it happens, you know that you manifested it. And if you share that, maybe I can help better. Okay. So the question now is, first write down your point of view about sex. Meaning, what do you think about it? In general, what do you think about it? Again, don't get into theoretical understanding. Just, just very practically, what did it is for you? Truthfully. No one is going to see your journal, by the way. It could be unattainable, or it could be bored. Anything it could be. Or it only happens in TVs, movies, or it is like been there, done that, and now bored. It can be any of that. Or it can be it's only for creating babies, and I think I'm done with that. Okay. Now next, whatever you wrote about sex, do you have that in your life or you don't? See, the first thing is your opinion about it you wrote. Now, the second thing is, do you have it in your life or not? There itself, you know whether you're contradicting. Or there itself, you'll know that you are hallucinating about something, which is not the truth. Now, next question. If you have it, if you have written, yes, I have it and all that, next question is, are you satisfied? If you have written, no, I don't have, then you need to write, do you think you are sexually repressed? Meaning, I have an idea about sex, I like it, I know that, but I don't have it. That is sexually repressed. Now, if you are written that, when I ask the question that if you have it, are you satisfied? And you might have written yes or no. That time, I want you to write under that, what is your idea of satisfaction? If you have repressed
Isha,
it,
Isha,
tell
what
me.
is that you mean? Sexually repressed meaning? I'm holding on to, not expressing.
Meaning I have an idea, I know what it is, everything, but I'm not allowing it to express. I'm not letting it come out. So repressed means it's like pent
Suppressed.
up or it is pushed. Okay. So in case if it is repressed, what is your emotions and feelings about it? Are you angry? Are you sad? Do you feel helpless? Do you feel like blaming others for your state? Or do you tell yourself, chalta hai, it's okay, this is how life is all about. The whole world is like this only. And by the way, that is true. 95% of the people's sexual needs are repressed. They are no different, including foreigners, by the way. Not necessarily 95, I don't know the percentage, but a large part of it, let's say that way. So, what is your emotions related to that? Okay. Now, there could be somebody here who is extremely satisfied and having good time and nice. Okay. For both of you, meaning those people whose sexual this thing is repressed or they're having good time in either cases, or if they're not satisfied, let's say that we're not repressed but not satisfied, then you identify the source of this problem. Or if it's fantastic, then also identify the source of it. Maybe their parents were very open, or whatever is the reason that they're very uh, easy with it and they're getting what they want. If it is not satisfied or repressed, what is the source of that? Who is the reason? What is the reason? Okay. Then what happens is, see, this is the symptom you found. Okay. But we need to go deeper down to find out the source of it. So let's do that. Do you remember? Okay. Any beliefs or any saying, somebody saying something to you in the current reality, in the recent past, whatever has happened which is affecting the your is not affecting, it's affecting your sexuality or is creating sexual repression. Okay, that is going a little bit of one level down in understanding. Okay, this is what happened. And after this, I'm not comfortable. Let's assume that way. And then let's go a little more deeper. So for that to go deeper, you need to write down what was your very first exposure to sex. Maybe as a child, the first time you heard about something, the very first time you saw somewhere, or the very first time somebody told you something. In your memory, whatever the very first one was, for some people it could be very traumatic, a very bad experience. It's okay. Tell yourself that this is the last time I'm going to embrace it and I'm going to let it go. The moment I accept this, the moment it comes to light, I am free from it. Now, how did you feel about it that time? And who all were involved in that? Did you like it or not? Was it a shock? What was the emotions attached to that? Did you like that emotion? And what belief did you get it because of that? Did you secretly like it? Why you had to keep it as a secret? Did you not like it and yet you kept it secret? Why? You didn't have anybody to tell this, to express yourself? Now we'll go a little more understanding our surroundings where we grew up basically, because that also makes us who we are with our belief systems. So write down what your parents thought about sexuality. You may not have any clear answer in this, but you will have an idea. Even if you feel that they never expressed anything, write it down that. But you will have some idea. What's their opinion also? Like, did they allow you to watch scenes in the movie? Or did they judge you? Did they observe you? And that made you feel exposed and feeling bad that you watched it. Just a look at you also is enough for you to judge your own self. Were there anybody other than your parents who affected you when it comes to sexuality? And why and how? And most often, if your parents were uncomfortable, most likely you will also be uncomfortable with that. Now, the next set of questions will be related to your body. Do you feel your body with all these senses? Basically, I'm trying to ask you, how do you sense your sensuality? Okay, let me just give an example. Do you like massaging? Do you like somebody hug you? Do you like somebody if they keep touching your head like this? Do you like if somebody kiss you? Do you like, what is that probably you will like as your sensuality? Or you don't feel comfortable at all. I don't like people touching my body. I don't feel hugging. If that is so, why you don't like that? What was the reason? Now, when it comes to sensuality, do you feel the difference that you massage yourself like this and someone else stroking you like this? You find a difference. Which is most cathartic, or which is most uh, real physical experience? And what is your opinion about your own experience? So these are set of the questions. Every question here makes you go deeper actually, and from where it originated, all that can come. Okay. Now, sometimes you will find a bottleneck. What I'm trying to say is if you answer these questions, you are more or less going to make your sexuality good for you. But let's assume you'll say that, no, I'm actually alone, can't do anything. Then in that case, you may be really be with a partner or a spouse, and yet you may feel it that you're alone. You don't have a partner for sexual intimacy. Then in that case, definitely there is a problem between you and your partner. If you try resolving that issue first, which is high priority, then naturally comes the sexuality. So, till the time, what do I do? Till the time, divert your sexual energy through other things, through other means. But that is not the final solution. Okay? Fine. Now, I'll just take few minutes, very few minutes to tell how to transform the sexual energy into whatever you want to do in your life, like basically manifestation. Now, one of the most beautiful thing or easiest thing to do that is meditation. Okay, that is Kundalini is nothing but that, which can come from a meditation, which is breathing exercises, breathing from the lowest chakra till the top of the chakra. Okay, so when the Kundalini raises, you will probably feel like your head is reeling. Okay, now in all of these things, or even just if you feel the tingling or however your body feels, urge, when you feel that, just bring that up to the head, basically. Okay, it usually uses the spine because that's like a pipe. But what you need to do is before you get into that act, you need to have something in your mind. What do you want to achieve? Say manifestation. And that create a very clear picture in your head. Let's assume that you want to be the best performer in the office. Then imagine how that is seen. Maybe they're giving an award. So see that picture in your mind, that award is there. Or you are uh, you're getting lots and lots of clients for your sessions, and imagine that so many people are coming in. Or have an affirmation, have a I am the greatest, something like that. It may be sound related, it may be you may just feel it, or you may be able to visualize it. It's all up to you. Have that very clear in your mind, and then get into this meditative space, or it's like body feeling, like breathing, or you know how probably using your own body you can get that feeling. Okay, but when that goes up, sometimes it goes up till one of the chakras, but it may not come till the head, right? But you should be able to visualize it. That is a tough part. When you visualize that, this energy, you're going to flow into that particular visualization of yours, and you are going to manifest it. It's like putting a petrol to a speeding car so that you can go and reach your goal. Okay. Now, in the natural intimacy with the other gender, the spouse or whatever, or with anybody, with a partner, let me just say, if you're having a natural physical intimacy with your partner, then also you can do the same thing. And you don't have to feel selfish that you are using that energy for this. Because energy is energy. Now you cannot give this to someone else, because someone else should be able to use it. So there is no fact that I gave you this energy, now go ahead and manifest. No, it is for you to manifest. That's all. There is another thing. Both of these are same. If your sexual energy is repressed, that is, you're no more having physical intimacy with anybody, that means your sexual energy is in store. So you may be probably become extremely creative, because that has to go out somewhere, no? It can become extremely creative. It can become very confident person. It can become a lot of things. So whether you are into sexual intimacy or not, both are creative. And both you should be able to use the way you want, because it's the energy you are born with. You have a reserve of that. And you need to experiment to find out how you can do it for yourself. Okay, so that is a little bit too much. And if you want, please see the recording again and very honestly go deeper inside to understand your, just once again, Anita, understand your own sexuality and make use of it as best as possible. Give me 1 minute, Anita. Ritika wrote she thought sensuality was related to the sacral chakra. It is. It is related to sacral chakra, but it is expressed mostly in the sexuality in the sacral chakra. All of the things are related to all of the chakras, and some are very strong in something. Okay. For example, throat chakra is also creative chakra. Sacral chakra is also creative chakra, but the way they create are different. Both are creative chakras. Okay. Sensuality. So the closest chakra is this.
Chakra.
For all the senses here, the closest chakra is this. Okay. And the closest chakra for the physical creation is sacral. So each of the sensualities are different. Okay. So it's something like that. Yes, Anita.
Eshanya, so this repressed, this energy, does it, if it's
Just hold on
not,
a minute, 1 second. Shall I switch off the recording?